Hello everyone, myself Dr. Raksha. Today I am going to discuss about the sampling and its type. Here are the following headings: basic terminologies, population, sample and sampling, advantages and disadvantages, probability sampling and non-probability sampling. So here are the some common terms which are mostly used in the field of the research, like population, sample and sampling. What is the population or universe? It can be referred to as the group of the people, item or unit under the investigation and include every individual. Sample. Sample, what is a sample? Sample is a collection consisting of a part of substance of the object and individual of population, which is selected for the purpose representing the population. Sampling. It is the process of selecting a sample from the population. For this, population is divided into a number of parts called sampling unit. In research purpose, we have to select particular group or sample from the entire population who are the representative of the particular population. Why we need to do sampling in a research? Because large population can be conveniently covered. It saves the time, money and energy. It is helpful when the units of area are homogeneous. It is used when percent accuracy is not acquired, and it should be used when the data is unlimited. Here are the various advantages of sampling, that is the economical, increased speed, accuracy and rapport. What is economical advantages of sampling? It reduces the cost compared to entire population. Increase the speed. Collection of data, analysis and interpretation of data take less time than the population. Accuracy. Due to limited area of coverage, completeness and accuracy is possible. Rapport. Better rapport is established with the respondent, which help in validity and reliability of the result. Disadvantages of sampling. There are mainly four types of the disadvantage of the sampling. First one is a biasness. Chance of bias selection leading to incorrect conclusion. Second is a selection of true representative sample. It's difficult to select the right representative for a sample. Third one is need for specialized knowledge. The researcher needs knowledge, training and experience in sampling technique, statistical analysis and calculation of probable error. Fourth one is the impossibility of sampling. Sometimes population is too small or too heterogeneous to select a representative sample. So what are the features of good sample and the good qualities should have in good sample? It must be a true representative of the population. It should be free from error due to bias. It should be has adequate insight for being reliable. The unit of sample should be independent and relevant. The unit of sample should be complete, precise and up to the date. It should be free from random sampling error. It should also avoid the substituting the original sample for convenience. After knowing about the advantages, disadvantages of sampling and the characteristics of the good sample, here is the classification of sampling technique. So, it mainly divided in a two part, non-probability sample technique and the probability sample technique. Probability sample technique is also divided in 5 types. First one is a simple random sampling. Second is a systematic sampling. Third one is a stratified sampling. Fourth one is a cluster sampling. and fifth one is the other sampling technique. In non-probability sampling technique, there are four types of the sample techniques. First one is a convenience sampling, second is a judgmental sampling, fourth one is a quota sampling, and last and fourth one is a snowball sampling. There are mainly two types of sampling, probability sampling and non-probability sampling. In probability sampling, probability sample is one in which each member of population has an equal chance of being selected, and the randomness is the element of control. But in non-probability sampling, the sample or particular member of population being chosen is unknown, and it relies on personal judgment. Probability sampling. There are four main types of probability sampling, namely random, systematic, stratified, and the cluster sampling. According to the sample unit, I draw this diagram. So I will describe according to the sample unit. First one is a simple random. In this, the sample unit is a all elements are considered and each has equal chance of being selected. In systematic sampling, there are every numbered element chosen, threaded at random and picking every numbered element in succession. Third one is a stratified sampling. In this, the sample unit is population. The population is divided in stratum and subjects selected randomly. Cluster sampling, this is the last one. Cluster random sampling, here is the sample unit is cluster. Random sample of cluster is selected from a simple random design. Let us study these methods one by one. First one is a simple random sampling. In this method, the law of chance are solely responsible in deciding which of the individual unit in the parent population will be selected. Here all members have the same chance of being selected. It can be with or without the replacement. Random method provide an unbiased cross selection of the population. Example of simple random sampling, like if we wish to draw a sample of 50 students from a population of 400 students, we will place all 400 names in a container and pick out the 50 names one by one. The advantages of this sampling is sample is representative of the population and the population estimate is easy to calculate. Another one is a systematic sampling. Systematic sampling, only the first unit is selected at random, the rest being selected automatically according to the predetermined pattern. Pattern followed for selecting a systematic sample involves regular spacing of unit. It means each members of the sample come after an equal interval from its previous member. Example of systematic sampling like this. For a sample of 50 students, a sampling fraction is 50 by 400, that is equivalent to the 1 by 8. That is, select one student out of every 8 students in a population. The starting point for the selection is chosen at the random. Advantages of this sampling is the sample is easy to select and helps in organizing fieldwork. But there are some disadvantages of this method also. The method of sampling may have certain pattern and the precision of estimate is less as compared to simple random sampling. Third one is a stratified sampling. Stratified sampling. In this sampling, precision of an estimator of population mean depend on the sample size, sampling fraction, and the variability of the heterogeneity among the unit of population. Hence, here the population is divided into smaller homogeneous group or strata by some characteristic features, and from each of these strata members are selected randomly. Finally, from each stratum, using simple random or systematic sample method is used to select final sample. Advantage of this sampling is every unit in spectrum has equal chance of being selected. Second one is a adequate representation of minority subgroup of interest can be achieved. Third one is the precision of estimate is high. Disadvantage of this sampling, it is necessary to have information regarding characteristic used for the stratification. Separate sampling frame has to be prepared for each of stratum. Fourth one is a cluster sampling. In cluster sampling, the sampling unit is cluster. A researcher selects sampling unit at the random and then does complete observation of all units in the group. For example, like a study involves primary school, we will select randomly 15 schools, then study all the children of the 15 schools. In cluster sampling, the unit of sampling consists of multiple classes. It is also known as area sampling, as the selection of individual members is made on the basis of the place, residence or employment. Advantages of this sampling is sampling frame of population is not required and the result can be obtained in lesser time. It saves the investigated time and cost of the data selection. But the disadvantage of the cluster sampling is that if clusters are homogeneous within cluster, then it may produce cluster effect. Non-probability method. There are 4 types of non-probability method. Convenience, second judgmental, third is quota, and fourth one is the snowball. According to the sample unit, the convenience non-probability method has a sample is based on EC of accessibility. In judgmental non-probability method, the sample unit is deliberately select sample to conform to some criteria. In quota sampling, the investigator is interested in getting some predetermined number of units from the population. In snowball non-probability method, it referred by current sample element. Let us study these methods one by one. First one is a simple random sampling. In this method, the law of chance are solely responsible in deciding which of the individual unit in the parent population will be selected. Here all members have the same chance of being selected. It can be with or without the replacement. Second one is a convenience sampling. In convenience sampling, a sample chosen haphazardly without a conscious bias may not be representative of population under study. It can be referred to the procedure of obtaining unit or members who are most conveniently available. It consists of units which are obtained because cases are readily available. So in this sampling, in selecting the incidental sample, the researcher determines the required sample size and then simply collect data on the numbers of individuals who are available easily. Third one is a quota sampling. Quota sampling is used for the opinion polls and market survey. In quota sampling, the investigator is interested in getting some predetermined number of units from the population. For example, like if we want to know the television viewing habit of the population and we need data from the 40 adults and 20 adolescents in order to study student, the selection will be like this. 20 adult men and 20 adult women, 10 adolescent girls and 10 adolescent boys. The advantage of quota sampling is it doesn't require sampling frame and the information can be collected quickly. Disadvantage of this sampling, it is a non-random sampling and may introduce bias in survey. Second one is the representativeness of sample cannot be assured. Fourth one is a snowball sampling. It is also called the chain sampling, chain referral sampling and the referral sampling. In snowball sampling, the researcher asks for a referral of other individual who would also meet the criteria and represent the population of concern. In snowball sampling, the researcher identifying and selecting available respondents who meet the criteria for inclusion. In this slide, the diagram which show chain referral sampling, because in this a researcher asks for a referral for the other individuals. In this slide, the diagram is showing the example of snowball sampling. The researcher identifying and selecting available respondent who meet the criteria for inclusion. Here is some difference between the probability sampling and non-probability sampling. In probability sampling, it eliminates the bias. But in non-probability sampling, adequacy of the sample can't be known. In probability sampling, we must have random selection of unit. But in non-probability sampling, it depends on the cheapness, easiest and the quicker to carry out. In probability sampling, it allows use of statistics, tests and hypothesis. But in non-probability sampling, it depends on the explanatory research and generate hypothesis. In probability sampling, we can generalize to the population defined by the sampling frame. But in probability sampling, we cannot generalize beyond the sample. For example, like in quota sampling, the sample frame is not required. So, these are the difference between the probability and non-probability sampling. Thank you.